Welcome back to the Daily Updates channel. We're on the Acquired Accelerator. So this is a completely free school community where you can join, ask any questions related to outreach and client acquisition, and I will answer them on the call or on the video as I'm doing right now. So this is going to be a daily updates channel, Monday to Friday, every single day, posting a video on the questions that you guys are asking. Since the last video, we had one more question come in, and that is from Sora. And he said, not unable to book meetings, even with a sending limit of 400 emails per day. Been trying for more than a month now. So we're going to break down the answers to this question. I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually change that and what you need to do to figure out what your problem is and then overcome that. If you have a question and you want to join the free school community, the link will be in the description. It's completely free to join and you can ask any questions you want. We even have a Q&A every single week with myself where you can ask anything client acquisition related. So let's get straight into this video. So it's also my first time using this, so it might be a little bit ropey. This is the little pen and whiteboard we've got going on, but Sura's question was great. So he's been sending 400 emails per day for the last 30 days, right? So for the last 30 days. If we times those together, we can see the total volume that he's probably sent, which would be 12,000 emails. I'm not sure why this pen is not playing ball today. I mean, it's the first time I'm using it, but let's try and make this an actual good video. Right, so 12,000 emails sent. Okay, with 12,000 emails sent, realistically, these are the sorts of numbers that we should be looking at. Now, there's a few different ways you could be going wrong. One of the first ways is it depends how many follow-ups you actually have in your sequence. The reason being, 12,000 emails could be 1,000 new contacts contacted in a 12-step sequence. If you're following up 11 times, so 12 emails in total, you're only actually going to reach out to 1,000 people if you're sending 12 emails per person. Or it could be 6,000 leads if you're sending 2 emails per person, right? So the first thing is actually a question of follow-up. How many follow-ups are you doing? Okay. The amount of follow-ups I would probably recommend for this, realistically, is 2 to 3. I would not go above 3, because if you're sending significantly more than that, say if you're sending a 12-step sequence, you're only reaching out to 1,000 people, which is not enough. That might not even be enough to book a meeting in some niches, right? Whereas if you're doing 2 follow-ups, or even 1 follow-up, you can reach out to 4,000 or 6,000 people respectively, which is going to give you significantly higher likelihood that you will actually book a call. So I would say the first thing absolutely is focus on volume. Okay, that does not look like a very good V. Volume, right? Including new contacts. So there's actually a difference, right, between how many follow-ups you do and how many net new people you'll reach out to. So if we look at it like a graph here, right, where we have follow-ups on this side, right? Ooh. Follow-ups here. Don't know why this isn't working. So let's say follow-ups up here and response here. Like the likelihood you'll get a response from the email. What's going to happen is as you follow up initially, you're going to get way more response, right? So you might start like here, right? Your response will be low with no follow-ups. Then what will happen is it will quickly go up and then tail off, right? So all the additional follow-ups will not really lead to much more response. You get the biggest increase in the first 1 to 2 follow-ups. Yeah. Anything after that, after 2+ follow-ups, you get very much diminishing returns from your emails. So I would very much focus it on just sending a high volume to net new contacts, aka less follow-ups. So if you've currently got loads of follow-ups in your sequence, do less follow-ups. That's the first thing. Second thing, what we need to be looking at realistically is your reply rate, right? Reply rate. Second thing we need to be looking at realistically is your reply rate as a percentage. Okay, now this needs to be ideally at least 1%. If this is below 1%, then I would say you're probably facing a deliverability issue. Okay, if it's below, let's write this here, below 1%, delivery problem. Right. It's probably got a delivery problem if it's below 1%. Now, ideally, we want our reply rate to be at least like sort of 2 to 4%. That's not always going to be the case, but if at least 1% of people are not replying us, it's likely we've got a deliverability problem and not landing in the inbox. Because it might sound silly, but we would want at least 1% of people to say no to us or they're not interested. If we're not even getting that, it means we're not really getting anywhere, right? Let's assume we sent 12,000 emails with one follow-up, so 6,000 new contacts. Even with a 1% reply rate, that's 60 replies. Okay? So if you're not getting at least 60 replies from 1,000 emails, you probably have a deliverability problem. And if you have that problem, you probably need to check links, make sure there's no links in your emails, make sure there's no spam words in your emails, make sure you're not sending too many emails per email account. Lots of things. And I've created videos on this on my main channel that you can look at if you're worried about deliverability, right? But that's the first thing, reply rate, a minimum of 1%. Next thing is we need to ensure that a decent percentage of these are actually positive replies and they're not all just saying get lost or I'm not interested. The metric I would usually look for is at least 25% positive reply rate, right? So a quarter of these, aka, what's that, 15 replies, should actually be interested, right? That's assuming a 1% reply rate and a 25% positive reply rate. 15 replies should actually show some level of interest. And from here, what we would usually see is, let's say a third, about 33%, should actually book onto a call. So that could be 5 bookings. Okay. Ooh. 5 bookings. Right? 5 bookings into your calendar. From there, let's assume you have a 80% show up rate. 80% show up rates. That's 4 actual shows. Oh, not sure why that's not working very well. 4 actual shows. And then let's assume you have from here a 25% close rate. That could be 1 client. Okay, 1 client from sending 6,000 emails with a 1% reply rate, 25% positive reply rate, 33% booking rate, 80% show up rate, and 25% close rate. Right, so I can write here on the other side exactly what they are. So that 1% would be a bare minimum sort of reply rate percentage that I'd look at. Next one would be positive reply rate percentage. The next one would be a booking rate. Oh, disappeared for a second. This one would be show up rate. So let's put SUR. And this one would be a close rate. Okay, so if you're not hitting these numbers, you need to figure out where the problem is. For most people, the problem is pretty early on. Let's assume the problem up here is the reply rate. This means you need to look at your deliverability. You need to see what's actually working your emails. This means you need to look at your deliverability, see if your emails are even landing in the inbox. If they're not, then you need to focus on deliverability. If this is your issue and you're not getting enough positive replies, then you need to focus on strengthening your offer. You need to make your offer stronger and more attractive, de-risk it, add in social proof, add in bolder claims. That will help you, right? If your issue is actually getting people to book on, then you need to add more follow-up and add more reason for people to jump on the call. Make it seem more attractive, right? Say, oh, it's a free consultation call, or frame it as a strategy session or a consultation session or an audit rather than a discovery call. If you don't get enough people to actually show up to your call, then what I'd say is the issue is pre-call reminders, pre-call sequences, and framing of the call. So once again, it's going to be a follow-up thing. Make sure you have a pre-call sequence. In Calendly, you can add this. You can add automatic reminders and everything to ensure your leads actually show up. And if your issue is a close rate, then this is more of a sales process problem, okay? You maybe need to take it from a 1 call close into a 2 call close. But these are the sort of things you need to be looking at. With this sort of volume, if you're sending 12,000 emails, you should be at least closing a client really with these sort of baseline metrics. Really, you want your reply rate to be above 1%, but 1% is sort of a bare minimum. So hopefully that sort of explains some of the numbers that you're seeing there and some changes that you can make in order to see more success from your campaigns. If you want to join the completely free school community, a link will be in description. You can ask any question you like to do with cold outreach and I will answer it. Like I say, I'm also hosting free Q&A sessions for everyone that joins. At the moment, we've just hit 50 members. It'd be sick to get this up to 100. So hopefully see some of you in there watching this video in the school community. But thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this one. I will see you all tomorrow.